Code Red! He's down! The radio blares with panic. Get help now! In the heart of a wildlife sanctuary, a zookeeper's worst fear comes alive. Daniel Holt lived for the roar of the wild, but on one sweltering July morning, his passion would turn into a blood-soaked nightmare. Stay with us. This story will claw at your heart. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, like, and share. Let's plunge into this terrifying tale. Daniel Holt wasn't just a zookeeper, he was a guardian of the wild. At 31, he'd spent a decade at Sunset Valley Sanctuary, caring for creatures most would never dare approach. His love for animals wasn't just a job, it was his life's pulse. Daniel had a gift, his colleague Mia said. He could calm a beast with a glance. His closest bond was with Kazi, a 450-pound lion whose golden eyes held a quiet strength. Rescued from a poacher's trap, Kazi was the sanctuary's pride, a symbol of survival. Daniel and Kazi shared an unspoken trust, forged through years of feedings and gentle moments. But on July 9th, 2024, that trust would be shattered in a way no one could predict. The sanctuary was bustling, visitors eager to see the king of the jungle, until the jungle fought back. But beneath the bond, danger lurked. Kazi, for all his majesty, was a wild predator. There were signs, small ones, easily dismissed. A low growl during feedings, a paw swiping too close. Mia had warned Daniel once. He's still a lion, not a pet. Daniel smiled, unshaken. He knew Kazi better than anyone. He trusted their connection, their routine. But no one saw the storm brewing in those golden eyes. The heat was oppressive that day, the air thick with tension. Small clues, a restless pace, a flick of Kazi's tail, went unnoticed. The stage was set for catastrophe. At 10:23 a.m., the unthinkable happened. Daniel entered Kazi's enclosure for a routine feeding, a bucket of meat in hand. The crowd watched, phones raised, expecting a show. Kazi was calm at first, his massive frame gliding toward Daniel. Then, without warning, he lunged. A deep roar shook the air as Kazi's paws slammed Daniel to the ground. His jaws clamped onto Daniel's shoulder, teeth sinking deep. Blood sprayed. The crowd screamed. Daniel fought, punching Kazi's flank, but the lion was relentless. "Get back!" Mia shouted, grabbing a tranquilizer gun. The enclosure became a chaos of dust and roars. Daniel's eyes locked with Kazi's, searching for the bond he knew. But all he saw was a predator's instinct. At 10:25 a.m., Daniel's screams faded as Kazi dragged him across the dirt. The crowd was frozen, their cheers turned to horror, as a man who loved the wild faced its fury. The struggle lasted 2 agonizing minutes. Mia fired a tranquilizer dart, but Kazi didn't falter. Keepers rushed in, banging poles, shouting to distract the lion. Daniel, bloodied and fading, clawed at the ground, gasping for air. His arm was torn, his strength slipping. Finally, a second dart hit. Kazi staggered, releasing Daniel, his massive body slumping. Medics stormed the enclosure, pulling Daniel's broken form to safety. At 10:30 a.m., he was airlifted to a hospital, his pulse faint. The crowd was evacuated, their faces pale with shock. Kazi, sedated, was locked away, his roar silenced. But the damage was done. Daniel survived, but barely. His shoulder was mangled, his recovery uncertain. Doctors spoke of nerve damage and months of surgery. The sanctuary faced an investigation, uncovering a chilling truth. Kazi's enclosure had flaws, weak gates, rushed protocols. Whispers of past incidents surfaced, brushed off to protect the sanctuary's image. Daniel's attack wasn't just a fluke, it was a warning ignored. "We thought we knew them," Mia said, her voice breaking, "but they're not ours to control." Daniel's bond with Kazi, once a beacon, now lay in ruins, a reminder of nature's untamed heart. Daniel Holt's story roars louder than any lion. Why do we cage wild souls and call it care? His scars demand we rethink how we treat these creatures. Sanctuaries are sanctuaries only when they respect the wild. Share this story. Fight for safer standards, for animals and those who protect them. Like, subscribe, comment. Let's honor Daniel by demanding change. His love for Kazi was real, but so was the cost. Thank you for joining us. Together we can keep the wild free and safe.